I'm here with Bill Hamilton, the International VP of the Eastern Region, who's running for re-election in Honestly. I was wondering if you could tell me a little about yourself and your position.
Well, I started out in this business 52 years ago, so I've been around a couple of years.
Yeah.
But I'm the president of the Pennsylvania Conference of Teamsters, I'm the president of the Joint Council 53, and the president of my own local in Philadelphia, Local 107. So I got
That's impressive. When I was looking up your credentials, I was really impressed, honestly.
I started out in the seat of the truck. I drove
Yeah.
the truck from McLean Trucking until they went out of business. I started out my career working on the platform at night when I was in high school, and then joined the service, joined the 101st Airborne, went to Vietnam, came back, and
Yeah.
here we are today. But I've been fighting, as my father taught me to fight for this union since I started, and I see some things that have gone off the rails in the last 5, 6, 7 years, and I'm not real happy about it. Wasn't real happy about the UPS contract last time.
I couldn't agree with you more.
And, I stood up at the executive board meeting. General President Hoppe was conducting it, and they said they were going to implement the UPS contract. I voted against it. Sean O'Brien voted against it, and I even went out to Western Pennsylvania to Local 30. I thought it was a tragic mistake, and it was a travesty that they told those people out in Western Pennsylvania that if you don't vote this in, we're taking your 60 cents an hour pension off of you, and we're going to implement it anyway.
Yeah.
And they voted it down. I went out there, they were throwing eggs at me because they thought it was me. But
I can see how this position, you get the heat for a lot of things.
well,
I'm sure.
but we should be out there telling the members the truth, and I did. And it wasn't an easy trip for me to go out there and tell them, look, please vote for this contract,
Yeah.
even though you don't like it, because they're going to take the 60 cents off of you,
Yeah.
and we'll change it next convention.
Yeah. What inspired you to pursue your career in Teamsters?
I was born and raised in a Teamster family.
Yeah.
My father drove a truck his whole life until he retired and passed away. Excuse me, but I've never been anything but a Teamster since
Yeah?
I was 16 years
hearing
old.
that.
Never knew anything else.
I mean, where your answer that was. What do you see for the future of Teamsters? The slate? Anything you want people to know about this slate?
Yes. In fact, we just had the Constitution Committee this past Thursday.
Okay.
And Sean O'Brien proposed, on behalf of the slate, our new rules to change the Constitution and eliminate the 2/3 rule in the Constitution, which provides the implementation of contracts, not just UPS, but everywhere. But specifically, UPS was the one that abused it.
Yeah.
And in conjunction with that, and by the way, our proposal is the one going to the floor of the convention next week, not this week, next week, to
Okay.
be voted on. We do have the delegates to pass it.
Yeah.
The second part of that is we also propose that the strike benefit be reduced to no waiting period.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have an 8-day waiting period when you go on strike. You live
Some
week to
people
week.
can't wait that long.
They live week to week. Every paycheck means something. We can't tell our members, oh, we can't pay it to the 8th day. Well, I'm on strike. And most strikes do not last 8 days.
Well, I know my employer, UPS, part-timers, some part-timers live in paycheck to paycheck.
Absolutely. And they need to know that. And the important part of that is not just having the strike benefit. And incidentally, the Varma slate voted against decreasing the days to 1. And their answer to that was, well, UPS could put us out of business in 3 weeks. Well, that's not the answer.
No.
That is not the answer. The answer is if UPS knows that you're going to get strike benefits from the first day, then they're not going to be as quick to
It gives us the upper or more power, I would think.
absolutely at the table. And that's where
Exactly.
you need a company like UPS uses everything.
You mean the company that turned a profit during the pandemic,
Yes.
the one that can't afford stuff like that?
Yes.
All right.
And pays new employees more than their current employees
Yes.
because of the pandemic, and instead of treating everybody fairly.
Yeah, I think we're on the same thought here. I guess I broke down. Is there anything specifically you're looking to change? And you covered it. The 2/3 rule. I know us at the hub, we definitely felt that. Especially now, I don't know if you heard about the arbitration we lost, where the Labor Day and Memorial Day, the company's trying to have us come in on those days, on holidays.
I didn't hear that. No.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was they are trying to say that the wording in our contract is that we get paid for that day, but it's not a day off.
That's cute.
Yeah. So we lost the arbitration of that because of that.
The language needs to be changed.
The
in the
language,
next contract.
yes. I mean, that's me and my partner. That's kind of. I've been Teamsters now for a little over 12 years, and I'll be honest with you. In the last 5 years is when I started to really feel like I should know more. I should be more involved. I'm going to try and make a career out of working and being a Teamster member. And when this happened, I don't know, it rubbed me the wrong way. And me and my buddy, we wanted to get involved. We wanted to reach out, do something.
Well, you know what? It's reaching out and doing something that changes things like this, so that our predecessors that allowed language that affects slipping into the contract and not being clear enough needs to be.
Well, and we keep telling people vote.
That's the key.
And when I was looking up the Oz slate and all that, and I saw you guys talking about the 2/3 rule, and I was impressed. I liked it. It was great. I didn't even know that's what you guys were platforming on.
Written and clear. We put it in writing and we voted on it on Thursday, and it's our proposal. And we have the delegates in the country to pass it. We've got 800 delegates right now, 870, and that's enough to pass it.
I like to hear it.
That's enough to pass it. We have enough.
Final thoughts? Do you have anything you want to add, or anything you want people to know in particular?
Yeah, you said something a second ago that's really important, and it doesn't get said enough. People, our members don't vote. It's really depressing when companies look at the number of votes that our people do, and they say, look at the Teamsters, 18% of them voted in a national election where they put it in the mail. All you got to do is fill it out and drop it back in the mail. Put it in the same mailbox it came out of.
Yeah.
Most post office sender now might have to pick it up. And we can't get 40% to vote. I mean, if it was a national election, it would be called the International Brotherhood of Shame because nobody's voting.
I agree with you. That's definitely one of the goals of me and my partner's channel is to awareness. And we just made an episode last night where we said we're gearing up. We're going to try and get as many people out there to vote as we can. I mean, if more people voted, I think we would definitely get it.
More people voted. The people in Washington, and I sit on the General Executive Board, and I haven't always voted with Hoffa.
Yeah.
So I was against him on many occasions. And that's because I hear the members in Pennsylvania. It's a lot more political here.
Yeah.
And people here speak out a lot more. But still, our numbers are deplorable when it comes to voting in Pennsylvania in a national election.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope the answer to that would get more people to vote, but I really don't want the companies having the power of the 2/3. But I would love to just not even have to worry about that and have more people vote.
Exactly. And it's a direct result of our people having apathy and not caring. We don't communicate well with the members from Washington. That's half the problem too.
Yeah.
You mail a magazine out once in a while. There's not enough reaching out, talking to our members on the phones, even from our perspective. It's difficult because everybody's got busy schedules, especially in the past year. But it shouldn't give us an excuse to bury our heads in the sand. And don't think the companies don't know how many people vote in our elections.
Oh, I'm sure they keep up on all of that.
Yep.
That's why I really was happy that you agreed to do this. I mean, I know we're just starting out, it's smaller, but I mean, so many people I know from personal experience in my hub, they couldn't even tell you who a union steward is. So I want to change that.
I know it's important because, especially at UPS, you see it more than anybody at UPS because of this.
What's a
turnover
contract
of
at
people.
UPS? As far as management goes, it's their way. I mean, Dave does a good job defending us. I want to stick with Dave. Does a really good job, but the company doesn't care about.
Well, it's the philosophy of the company because they've done it that way for so long,
Yes.
and nobody stopped it.
We have to change. Sort of the culture of it.
Yes,
But I think this is a good step forward. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you guys.
absolutely.
Yeah. I appreciate your time.
Yep.
For real. It's nice meeting you.
Pleasure.
I look forward to voting for you.
I appreciate that too. But I'll be available anytime you want to talk to me.
Thank you.